Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. So today was a crazy day. Got up, did my normal routine. Was getting ready for work, and I got out and got settled into the car. Excuse me, and started the car, and it kind of started a little rough. So I hit the gas a little bit and it leveled out. And I thought, alright, well, it was kind of cold last night, so I'll just sit here and let it warm up for a little while. And I'm sitting there letting it warm up a little while. I'm getting my, I use Gas Buddy. It saves me a lot of money with doing delivery. You go through a lot of gas, and Gas Buddy really does save me a lot of money, so I use it all the time. So I'm getting it set up in Gas Buddy so I can go get gas, because I'm at like a quarter of a tank, and that's not going to cut it for a day of working. So I had to put the car in drive, and I hit the gas, and it's not wanting to move. It's sputtering and puking, and I look down at the dashboard and the check engine light is blinking, and I'm like, oh shit. So I whipped the car back around. I didn't even get even part of the block. I got in front of the neighbor's house when this all happened, turned around, came back. My son has a code reader, so I had to wake him up and find out where the code reader was so we could read the codes and find out what was wrong with my car. So we find the code reader, and as you all know, I live in an RV. So I'm not the type of person that wants everybody else to do things for me. I want to do them myself, because if I'm on the road and I need to do something, I have nobody with me. I have to be able to know how to do things, and I have to have the confidence to do it. So when it comes to things that are easy to do, I definitely will do them. I do ask questions so then I don't screw things up. Anyways, so we get the code, and my son says to me, he says, I think you need spark plugs. Okay. I said, can I drive the car there to get the spark plugs? And he looks at me and he goes, I don't know. He goes, you better check that with Ed, which is their dad. So I contact their dad, and he's like, yeah, that's fine. So I go to the AutoZone. I pick up the spark plugs. Extremely cheap. So here I am going to figure out how to change my spark plugs in a 2000 Daewoo Lanos. So I watch a couple of videos. Now, there's not a ton of Daewoos around, so finding an actual video of it was not easy. I did find two, and I watched them, and they kind of contradicted each other at points, so I had to call Ed and ask him questions, and he gave me the clearance and told me what to do and told me what I needed, so I set out to do this. Alright, so we pop the hood, we're out there, we take the cover off. Okay, I've watched the videos. This looks pretty simple. I got this. Yeah, I don't have this. So I pull the first, so the spark plugs are in the top of the where the oil is, in the very center. So I pull the first wire out, because what I was learning from the videos is you do one at a time. Okay, great. I pull the first one out, and there's oil, and I'm like, okay, am I doing something wrong? So I pull the second one out, and there's not really oil, but it's kind of dirty, and I'm like, okay, now I can't see anything down in the hole. I can't see really what's down in there. So now I go get a flashlight. So I see what's down there. So I'm like, okay, I gotta find what fits this. So I go and I take the new spark plug and I go into the toolbox in the garage, and I'm looking and I'm trying to find. I cannot find one of these sockets that will help me get the spark plug out. So I think I find one after about, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours of yelling and hollering at the stupid car. And I think the biggest thing is I don't know where everything is in the toolboxes, and there is so many tools that it just kind of, I think, gets me flustered. So I finally find a socket that will fit. I loosen them, but they're not coming out. How do I get them out? They're really far in there. So I'm struggling with this. So I contact Ed, and he comes over, and he says, "Oh, hold on, I've got a spark plug wrench." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, that seemed easy, and that was easy. So we cleaned up the wires, we put the spark plugs back in, and we made sure that everything was good. And I didn't have an antenna in there. I got a radio and it works, but there was no antenna, so I couldn't use it. I've been using Pandora through my spare cell phone, the one that I give you the number on. Anyways, so we ended up fixing the antenna, putting in a new antenna, because you couldn't just buy one to screw in. The wire wasn't there. We had to do the whole thing. So we decided, we already had the car, we were already working on the car, and we were already dirty, so we might as well just do this too. So now I've got two. And I took the car to go, the coolant was a little low, and I needed a couple of other things for me and the dogs. So I thought, okay, I'll go up to the Walmart, and I drove up to Walmart. I am telling you, just changing those spark plugs made a huge difference. That car can get out of its own way now. It's a little subcompact. It's a tiny car. So I'm going to probably end up, the wires look good from what I can see, from what we can see, but I think I'll probably change those out too at some point. But those will be so easy, that's not even going to be a problem. That's going to be like a 30-40 minute job for me. Basically, when I work on things, when I decide to get my mechanic on, you're probably looking at, if book time tells you it takes 4 hours, it's going to take me 8 to 12. It's usually double or more for me. But I can tell you, and this is why I do it. So in 2020 or 2012, it was just me and my kids. They were 18 and 19, I think, at the time. And my son had an old 85 Pontiac Fiero, and I had an 84 CJ7. And, I loved that. I loved that Jeep. I would love another one like that again. I've had a couple Wranglers, but I still prefer the CJs over the Wranglers. They're so much easier to work on. There's so much more space in the engine compartments. It's just so easy. Anyways, so we didn't have a lot of money, and our cars would break down, and I rationalized with myself, college-educated me, I should be able to figure this out. I got Google and YouTube. So I'd watch videos and I'd read stuff, and I would do it. And every time I would fix it, and it would pass emissions or whatever it needed to do, it was building, and I didn't realize it until after the fact, because when I first started turning those wrenches back in 2012, I assure you that there were a lot of tears coming out of my eyes. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. What the hell? But I didn't have a choice. And slowly but surely, the more I did on the cars, the more I realized, holy shit, this is building my self-confidence. Every time I fixed something, and I did it, nobody helped me. I did it myself. I was building up my self-confidence. I was like, this is amazing. So once I started to get my self-confidence with doing this stuff, I found that I liked some of the stuff. So as I've owned vehicles and whatever, and the newer ones I can't really work on too much computerized shit, and I don't understand all that. But basic stuff, I understand that. So I kind of know if a car's acting a certain way or whatever. Okay, I know that this could be the problem. Let's start with the simplest thing and figure it out. And it's usually the simple thing, and I get it fixed, and it's okay. So when I bought the RV, I rationalized with myself that if I could go ahead and do 2 cars like that, and it built my self-confidence like it did, I thought, what the hell is going to happen when I have the RV and I have to do all this stuff in the RV by myself? Damn, that's going to shoot my self-confidence right through the roof. I hope so. And yes, it does. And I'm going to tell you right now, and anybody who tells you different is full of shit. Owning an RV is not cheap. It is not outrageously expensive, but you need to have money stashed because things are going to go wrong and you're going to have to figure out how to fix them. It's not like a house where you can call a plumber over. It's not like your car where you can take it into the shop and you have plenty of choices. The truth is, you gotta hope that there's an RV place nearby and hope that they got the parts, because it could take a while to get the parts. And if you call a mobile service, the mobile services are great, but they're so backed up and they have to take priority. So if my water heater's out and somebody's AC's out and it's 100 degrees outside, I can go without shower and hot water. They can't go without AC. So you get moved around. So your appointment doesn't stay steady, which is fine. It's understandable. But most of the stuff that I've had to do on here, I've done myself. And most of the stuff has been really, really easy. The painting has been the remodeling project is mine and mine alone. I've had several family and friends that have offered to help, and I totally appreciate that, but I want to do it myself. I want to be done. When I get done with it, I want to look at it and be like, I did this. This is mine. It's 100% fits me and what I wanted. Up until 2020, I had never technically lived alone. I had lived alone with my kids when they were young. But I wasn't alone. I had the kids. And you can't always make the choices that you want. You got to worry about the kids more. So in 2020, when I started on this journey, was the first time in my whole adult life that I was on my own. No help from nobody. My kids were off doing their thing. Everybody was doing their thing. And I can tell you that I did not realize how much I would love being single. I loved the fact that if my friend called me up and wanted me to go hang out that night, I could go. I don't have to worry about somebody else being upset because I wanted to go out at the last minute. Or if they were, I invite them to go and they're like, well, I don't want to go, they didn't invite me. Whatever. I didn't have any of the drama. And it wasn't necessarily, because I know that when I finally have a healthy relationship for the first time in my life, I know that I'm not going to have to deal with that kind of drama. I'm not going to have to deal with the insecurity and the jealousy and all of that. I already know that. But when I started on this journey in 2020, all I knew was unhealthy relationships. And I've dealt with a lot of jealousy. And that's one thing that I just can't, jealousy. And it took me a while to realize jealousy, I assure you 100%, jealousy has nothing to do with you. They're not jealous of you. Literally, if you are dating somebody, I don't care man or woman, I don't care what sex they are. If you are dating somebody and they are jealous and constantly accusing you of being interested in other people or cheating, they're pointing at you, they've got 3 back at them. I assure you 100% that jealousy is them telling you who they are because they think that you think like them. So if they can do this, then you must be too. And that, by them saying that and acting that way towards you, alleviates some of their guilt of what they're doing because you're just as rotten as they are. So do not ever buy into jealousy. And I am not talking a valid concern. A valid concern is not jealousy. If you are in a healthy relationship and your significant other starts to think, well, God, you're kind of a little close with this person, is everything okay here? I'm kind of feeling a little insecure. You go to your person and you tell them that. In a healthy relationship, they're going to reassure you. They're going to understand you're not being jealous, you're just scared. And they're going to reassure you so you don't have to be scared. They're going to explain things. They're not going to yell and holler at you and start a big fight over it. They're just not. Anybody who loves you is going to be gentle and kind with you when you come to them with your emotions and your feelings. They're not going to treat you like you're a problem. That's not healthy. And so when I started on this journey, a lot of it was I needed to figure out how to get myself healthy, because I believed that the one constant was me, and I kept choosing all these wrong guys that I needed to get myself okay. How could I expect to have a healthy, happy relationship if I wasn't healthy and happy on my own? So that was this adventure for the last almost 5 years. And I can say that it's been a hell of a ride. I regret none of the last almost 5 years. And I think it's almost coming to the point where it might be ending. The singledom might be ending. And I'm okay with that. The biggest thing that I need to realize, and I needed to realize, and I didn't when I was younger, is space. That's a huge key. I tended to attract guys that wanted to jump into things really, really quickly. And it essentially love bombing. I didn't know it at the time. I kind of thought it wasn't normal, but I didn't know it. I mean, that's how if my mom did date the few guys that she did, it was quick. She kind of had to, though, because by the time 6 months came around and they saw her true colors, they were like, we're out, she's crazy. And yeah, you'd think that would pop into my head and be like, hey, wait, they knew it. Maybe I need to stay away from these crazy people. No, I didn't think like that. Should have, but I didn't. Anyways, no regrets, because I wouldn't have the wisdom and the knowledge that I have now to be able to share with all of you. So I'm okay that I went through it. Anyways, so I had to get the car fixed today. I know, I go off on other things. You should know that by now if you've been watching my videos long enough. So I learned that I still have it. I still can do it. Even when I'm frustrated over something, I'm still going to do it. I honestly felt like I wasted the whole day because I ended up not working today. And it's Sunday, which is usually a pretty decent day. But I'm usually off on Tuesdays. So, you know what? Not a big deal. I'll just work on Tuesday instead. I was off today. So, Tuesday I'll make up my time and go out and earn some money. We'll see if we make any. If it's dead out there, if it's dead out there, there's not a lot of deliveries, then we'll just come home and do some more painting, because we are almost done with these cabinets, and then I can start on the walls. Once we have the walls done, then we're going to do the flooring, and that's going to be a lot of work, but I'm looking forward to it. And then we're going to do windows after that. And this week I will be going down to get new batteries for the RV, because these ones are no good. And slowly but surely I have to get new tires before I can hit the road. So that's a small chunk of change. So I'll be waiting here for a little while, saving up to get those tires. But it'll be all right. No big deal. I still got a couple of other places to check out for prices, so I might find something cheaper. Anyways, those are the two big well, that's the one big project this week is the batteries. And then finishing up the cabinets so then I can start on the walls. And I've told you before that I'm doing the teal and I was going to do the walls great, but I'm changing up the walls a little bit. Because, like I said, I have never had my own place that I could decorate my way. I don't have to take anybody else's opinion or thoughts or likes or dislikes into consideration. So, I've decided that I'm going to do different colors on different walls that match. So, it's kind of going to be a little wild and beachy feeling. Anyways, you'll see as we go. I'll share it all with you and you'll see when I'm doing the videos. Anyways, excuse my mess. I had to clean there's a fan in the back of the breakers, the breaker box, and I got dogs, so I gotta clean off the hair off the fan every so often, and a $1 toothbrush from the Walmart works out beautiful to get dog hair out of little tight spots. So that's why the toothbrush is there. We just cleaned it out. It's all good. It's all cleaned up. Not that I ever use it. It's just for cleaning the dog hair out of the little nooks and crannies that I need to. It's behind the drawers, so I don't really see it that often. I just can tell when it's not able to run the way that it needs to. So, I better check that again. There's a lot of little maintenance on these things that you have to do, and you don't realize it until you get into it. There's specific things that you have to learn about your tanks and your dishes and every little thing that you would do naturally and normally in your home or in an apartment. There's a little bit of a learning curve that you do when you're in the RV. Although after you get accustomed to living in the RV, you discover that we really waste a lot of electricity and water. I never realized it. But after living in the RV, I think I was living in it for almost a year. And I was at my dad's. And I went inside to take a shower. It was hot. I had everything disconnected. I was getting ready to hit the road and come back out here. And instead of having everything hooked up and everything, the day before I do all the fluids and all the tires and everything out, make sure everything's good to go so I can hit the road. So I showered inside Dad's, and they've got an amazing shower. And I really felt like I was wasting water because you don't leave the shower running in here when you're showering. It's on and off. You only have it on to wet yourself down and then to rinse yourself off. You do not have it on constantly. So I felt like I was wasting water when I was taking a normal shower. But that then got me to think about, oh my God, how much you use and you don't realize it. Because I have stayed in some in RV park, but majority of the time I do what they call mooch docking, and that is usually staying in a friend or a family member's house, or when I'm in Wisconsin at my uncle's business, I stay on their property and I hook my water and my electricity up to them. Doing that means that I'm a 30 amp and I can't run everything on here. So I can't have the AC going and make a pot of coffee. That's not going to work. So I have to make sure that I make my coffee before I need the AC on. Like if I'm at my, but if I'm at, well, the funny part is if I'm by my dad's, a lot of the times I'll go inside and have coffee with them. So and at dad's, if I'm staying there, if I'm there over Thanksgiving, like normal, then it's cold out, so I'm not using the AC anyways. So I can run the heater and the coffee pot at the same time. That doesn't seem to affect anything. But I can tell you that I would rather go inside and just socialize with dad and mom. It's what I'm there for, is to spend time with them. But you realize how much of a carbon footprint you really have. And I didn't realize it until living in this for a while. Prior to living in this, I lived as a minimalist. When I had a nice one-bedroom apartment, but there was not a lot of furniture. There was not a lot of anything because I don't want a lot. The less I have, the less I have to clean, the less I have to take care of, the less I have to worry about. And it's not like I was constantly at home. I work. You know, I'm lucky enough to have a job that I can come home every few hours and take the dogs out and make sure that they're okay. Let them run a little bit. But when I'd have my days off, I'd just chill out with the dogs. And because I didn't have a lot of things, I didn't have a lot to clean. So, hour or two, and then laundry, and I'm good to go. And I got the rest of the day with the dogs to chill out and hang out and have a good time. So, moving into the RV wasn't so difficult because I was already living as a minimalist at that point. And as I've been painting the cabinets and removing doors, I've been getting rid of stuff that I haven't used since I've been in the RV. Why am I keeping it and taking it to donate it at one of the thrift stores? Because there's my girl dog's dreaming. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. It's okay, Mira. And so I cleaned out some more stuff that I didn't need. I'm just shocked how much crap you can just get accumulate over a small period of time. I'm like, why do I have this? And when people try to give me gifts, I'm like, don't give me gifts. And they're like, what do you mean? I don't need more stuff. I don't have a lot of room. I kind of exaggerate on that because my understorage, which I have a lot because this is a Class A, there's quite a lot of understorage. It's bare. There's not a lot down there. So I do have plenty of space. But I don't want to fill it all up. Because eventually I plan on having solar panels put on here with an inverter. And then I'm going to get the lithium batteries. And I'm going to use some of those little cubby holes for that stuff. So I won't be filling them up because I don't want to, have to get rid of that stuff just so then I can put that stuff in, because that'll probably come within like the next year or so. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of touch base with you and say hi, and if you come up with anything that you want to know or you have questions or you need to reach out, give me a call, email me, message down here, whatever you need to do. I am going to say I have been getting some spam calls on the number that I post for you guys, and I'm noticing that it's not ringing to me, so I'm not even seeing it ringing. I'm not seeing it until after the fact. So if you call me and I don't hear it, leave a voicemail, because even though it's blocked, it will go to voicemail. So leave a voicemail and I will go ahead and I will call you back. Or you can text, because text should come through. And if that's not working, you can email me or send a message down here. I'll get both of them right away, and then I'll contact you, and then I can just add your stuff into the phone, and then we'll be fine. So if you've got questions or need help on your journey or anything else, give me a holler. I'm always available. It's free. It costs you absolutely nothing. I enjoy helping people. I know what it's like to be in a financial pinch. And I know what it's like to also be in desperate need of help from somebody that you think might be able to help you, but you can't afford it. And I believe that when good things are done for me or to me, that I must pay that forward to other people. So, with that said, that's why I don't charge you. Anyways, have a good night, guys. I'll be back in a day or two. If you got a video or a topic that you want me to discuss, let me know. I still don't think we have enough people to do like a live Q&A. And I don't want to just kind of sit there on a live show and talk to myself, which I do this way. So maybe it's not a big deal, but it would be nicer if I could just answer people's questions. But anyways, we'll get there. We'll get there at some point. It's no rush. Anyways, have a great night, guys. Love you, and I'll see you in a couple days or two. Bye.